So many cities in China are living under strict restrictions and lockdowns for several months now, and anger, of course, is imploding. Major cities are witnessing rare protests and an outpouring of public anger. Believe it or not, cities such as Beijing and Shanghai are witnessing revolts against the zero-COVID policy that's been put in place. Now, people are raising questions about the necessity of snap lockdowns that have been imposed, of lengthy quarantine requirements, and also the mass testing campaigns that the government has been carrying out. In Beijing's Tsinghua University, hundreds of students gathered and were shouting democracy, rule of law, and freedom of expression. These are the slogans which the Chinese students were chanting. The students also held up blank pieces of paper, a symbolic protest against censorship. The widespread outpouring of public dissent has, of course, gone well beyond social media to some of China's streets and also to top universities. In Shanghai, China's most populous city, the residents gathered to hold a silent protest. Later, the demonstrators also raised slogans against the state. They chanted Xi Jinping, step down, CCP, step down, and they also demanded for the lockdowns to be lifted immediately.
It's crazy. I think first it's because of the Xi Jinping, the president. We should end his dictatorship because he only care about he only care about himself, his dictatorship. So this is why many people died of him. So, but now it's a good news. Is many people getting to realize the president is illegal.
The police also detained several people in Shanghai as the protests continued. Social media footage showed the police detaining a man holding up flowers and protesting, as well as a person who was subdued on the road. And a deadly building fire that killed at least about 10 people in Urumqi has now become a fresh catalyst for public anger against China's hardline virus strategy. Now, several demonstrators massed outside of the government offices and chanted slogans like "Lift the lockdown." Citizens are blaming the lengthy COVID lockdown and the restrictions which hampered the rescue efforts for these fire agencies to come and rescue the people who were stuck in these buildings. And they said it was the COVID-19 restrictions which created the delay, resulting in the loss of lives.
When the rescuers were on their way, there were so many obstacles in the way. Obstacles on the way to the building, locks on the doors. The neighborhood is blocked, and when the workers came, when the police came, they could not get into the building immediately. They had to get around all these obstacles and barriers on their way. By the time they arrived, people were already dead.
Although the COVID-0 policy is, of course, failing to meet its target, China plans to keep it in place despite the public pushback and also its mounting economic toll. Officials have defended the policy as life-saving and necessary to prevent overwhelming the healthcare system. The country has reported more than 39,500 domestic COVID cases, which is a record high. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.